So I'm here with Aaron Thomas, Progenex. We're at the NorthCentral CrossFit Regionals.
Yeah.
Aaron, Progenex has been around, what, 3.5 years?
Correct.
CrossFit's a few years older than that, but for most people, they haven't known of CrossFit for 3.5 years. Why is Progenex involved with CrossFit? What's going on here?
You know, myself and my partners got into CrossFit about 4 years ago, and we just really felt like this was the future of fitness. Just the combination of workouts that actually work, the community aspect, and just the business model itself that allowed for rapid growth. We just felt like this is a huge opportunity. So early on, we were the first sponsor of the games before Reebok came on, and so we basically bet the future of our company on CrossFit. It was a big bet, especially because at the time it was such an anti-supplement community, and I feel like it's for good reason, because most of the stuff out there is crap, But we felt like if we had a product that really worked, that we could demonstrate it, and a product that you could actually sample and where they could see the difference, throughout the course of a weekend, we thought it'd be a great fit. So, the rest is history, I guess.
So you sponsored the CrossFit Games when they were at the ranch? Maybe the last year?
We were the first year in Home Depot, so we got in right after the ranch. And so we basically did the deal with CrossFit in 2009 to come on as a lead sponsor for the 2010 Games. So a lot of growth since then. Now that this regional here in Chicago is bigger than that first Games that we went to at the Home Depot Center was.
I think Progenex is almost synonymous with CrossFit for a lot of people. What sets you apart?
A number of things. I guess first of all, just a philosophy as a company. First and foremost is performance. We're not going to come out with a product unless we're very confident that it's superior to everything else in the market, and that generally means we have to spend a whole lot more on it. So our cost of goods is very high. So we chose to go the direct consumer model through our website, as well as just the affiliates. So we have a couple thousand gyms that carry it, primarily CrossFit gyms. So our business model allows us to spend more. And then secondly is just the taste. So anyone that tries a product, they're always blown away by the flavor. We spend more money on our flavoring alone than most companies do on their entire finished product. We do things that most won't in terms of flavoring. We spend months and months working on it and spend a lot on that, because we feel like as good as it works, it still has to taste good for people to stick with it.
I would agree. So Aaron, I use Progenex. I sell Progenex through my website. What makes it special? You only have a limited product line.
Yep.
Why are you? Just tell me a little bit about what's really special about your products.
I guess first and foremost, to start with the recovery, because that's kind of our flagship product. The first thing people usually start with. Take it right after your workout. It's really going to help with the soreness, aches, pains. But we start with the real high-quality whey isolate. We remove all the fat and the lactose, and then we use enzymes to break it down so it's pre-digested, absorbs in a fraction of time, very bioavailable. So bottom line is, within the first bag, you really should see the difference using it. Your strength, your body composition, the way you feel after you work out, a lot less soreness. So that's the first product that people generally start with. But then we've got the more muscle product is what I would use first thing in the morning or as a snack during the day. That we're adding additional BCAAs, about 40% more. And the big thing that we do with that product is we actually cold process it. We extract growth factors from early stage milk, from colostrum, and reinsert it. So it really helps stimulate muscle growth. And so it's a really unique ingredient you're not going to find anywhere else. And that's what we do with all of our products. We want to come up with these ingredients that, most people, not only can they not manufacture them, but they can't afford to put them in even if they could manufacture
Okay.
So then we've got the Omega product, and instead of fish oil, we actually came out with a product that's a combination of krill oil and calamari with natural astaxanthin and vitamin D. So basically, with the vitamin D, everyone's vitamin D deficient, of course. The astaxanthin is the world's most powerful antioxidant. Calamari is very DHA rich, and then with the krill, it's in phospholipid form, where fish oil is triglycerides. So basically, easy illustrations: if you pour your fish oil in water, you'll see it doesn't mix. So in your body, it has to be digested by a small intestine, so you lose a lot of bioavailability. That's why you have to take so much fish oil. So with krill, if you pour that in water, you'll see it mixes very easily. So there's actually studies showing it's 100 times more potent. So you get same types of benefits in terms of cardiovascular, anti-inflammatory, cholesterol, all those things, but actually a broader range of benefits. And the nice thing is it's eco-friendly, sustainable. You don't get the mercury issues, the fish burps, and you only have to take 2 pills instead of 10. So then we've got our 2 newest products. The Force is our pre-workout product. And of course, it's going to have BCAAs like others, only this in peptide form, so it's faster absorbing, more bioavailable. We got creatine, beta-alanine, L-citrulline, a little bit of caffeine, not a lot. So most of them are just going to hop you full of a bunch of stimulants. That doesn't work for CrossFitters because when you're doing those high-intensity workouts, you don't want the jitters, so you're not going to feel that.
I've been down that road. Yes,
So-
it can go ugly quickly.
Oh yeah. So, and with that product, the big thing that we have there is we developed this nitric peptide. It's a natural vascular dilator, so it's going to naturally open up the pathways, deliver more nutrients. So you're just going to feel a really nice energy and endurance for the workout without, feeling like your heart's going to pound out of your chest. So, and then our newest product that is my personal favorite is the Cocoon. And for anyone with sleeping issues, I highly recommend it because we start with the micellar casein, slow absorbing protein, 23 grams of protein, only 1 gram of sugar. So you take it before bed. If you heat it up, it tastes like a hot chocolate. It's a nice treat before bed. But the reason it works so well for sleep is we have this tryptophan peptide, and it absolutely works. I've gone from basically waking up 10, 15 times a night to sleeping through the night. Maybe I'll wake up once or twice. And it basically doesn't, leave you groggy or put you out like a sleeping pill would. It just really helps calm, relax you. So if you're ready for bed, put you in a more deep and restful sleep. So that product's been sold out at every event so far in the first or second day. So.
I can't wait to use it. I'll start using it tonight. Actually, it'll be my first time. So I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
I eat like an athlete version of paleo.
Okay.
I'm fairly lactose intolerant now, just happened in the last few years. I'm pretty gluten intolerant. Your products don't bother my gut. I don't have any issues. I don't get diarrhea, I don't get bloated, I don't have an upset stomach. Most other whey proteins do. Is that because of how recovery and more muscle are broken down, or the quality of your originating product, where you source it from? Why is that happening?
It's a combination of all that, starting with the highest quality isolate we can, where we're removing all those impurities, and then of course removing all the lactose. So none of our products have the lactose because the CrossFit community is very dairy sensitive. A lot of them eat paleo, so we know that we can't have a product that will bother your stomach. And so, for example, I had a girl here just yesterday, and she told me this: every protein she's ever tried, she could never keep it down. I convinced her to try it. I gave her a full dose, and I told her, come back to me the next day and tell me, how you feel. She came back the next day. She said, I had no problems at all with this. She bought a bag. And so, it's the quality of the materials as well as just the fact that it is broken down into tiny dientripeptides, so they bypass the gut, go straight to the muscle cells. So, it's really quality of the
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I didn't think it was unique to myself, but for most competitive CrossFitters, I don't think a strict paleo diet works. I don't think there's enough carbohydrate. I think more and more people are eating kind of a Rob Wolf athlete modified, a lot of potatoes, a lot of sweet potatoes and white rice and things.
I would agree.
So Progenex fits right into the model.
Uh-huh. Yep, and I haven't seen any of those top tier athletes that make it to the games. I don't know of any that eat a strict paleo diet just because it is so difficult to eat the amount of calories when you're working out 2-3 times a day to get to where you need. I think it's a great diet for those of us who maybe work out a few times a week instead of a few times a day. But
that whole real job thing gets in the way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. All this travel too.
Aaron, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, John.